Hello and welcome to the Golden Podcast. This week it's just me by myself. I'm going to be reading some of my poetry because I never really do that. And I thought that this week would be a good time because I've been writing a lot in my first week in college and just, I guess, first 3 weeks now. But I was writing a lot my first week, but I've written a few more since then. So if you hear me shuffling around with paper, that's what I'm doing. Just a quick little trigger warning for gender dysphoria, some sexual themes, racism, vomiting. I know some people have very extreme fears of vomiting and stuff like that. It's not self-induced, but just vomiting in general, stuff like that. So yeah, if you're triggered by any of those sort of things, I just would be warned ahead of time, and I'll probably give a warning before the poem just in case you want to skip that one specifically. So yeah, I guess I'll be getting started then. I think a difficult thing was me choosing which one to read first, and I don't know if it's the best one. It's definitely not, but I feel like it's an all right one to start on. These are definitely not my best work, but I feel like they're saying a lot, and I feel like they're coming from a very genuine, unplanned place, because I didn't edit any of these. I didn't think about what I was going to write. I just started writing, and I feel like it's just a good, raw, natural form, and a good thing to talk about just as a, give me an easy week. So I'll start with this one. This one is untitled. I'll remember this for the rest of my life, I said, which I know to be untrue, which is why I'm telling it all to you, so that you may hold this memory long after I've died. But always remember that first, it was mine. I'm staring down a tunnel of chairs, each arm in a row, germs getting on my hair, no arms out for show. My hair sprawled out, my shoulder blade aching, as if to shout, but I don't dare move, for there's no mistaking. That arm that poked through the tunnel for just a moment, like the yellow light that cascades down my face. And as I write this, it escapes me. I have no words, except for those that I type, for the memory is gone, but it once was mine. Because that was the first one. This one has a trigger warning for some sexual things, homophobia, and vomiting and stuff. Okay. This one's also untitled. I knew my place the day I raised my hand and asked to go to the nurse. I'd lost a tooth. It had been 10 minutes. I knew my place when I held my hand high and my head low for 20 minutes. I was called on. I had swallowed the vomit by then. I knew my place when he asked every single one of us to see our tits in 5th grade, and he got nothing more than a slap on the wrist and one pair of tits. I knew my place when I was having a panic attack in the bathroom because I forgot one homework assignment in his math class, and my friends were worried I would be late. I knew my place when I started dating my crush of 2 years for 1 week, and love won in the summer between 8th and 9th, and I became a child of Satan, and I went into the church bathroom and cried, and everyone looked at me when I entered and had no clue that was my place. I knew my place. Knew. Okay. I'm reading the ones that I wrote on my phone on the train ride back from New York City after the Marina concert first. So those were both from that. And then the last one from that night I'll read now. This one has trigger warning for sexual things. Is it natural to think so much while one's tongue is inside you, anywhere, everywhere? Does everyone have as many thoughts as me, or are they able to let themselves enjoy a moment? I've never been one to do much of that. My muscle dances against theirs, twitching. Should I move my fingers now, Would they notice? Have they already noticed I haven't been moving them before? Maybe they assumed it was the pleasure. It made me comatose. No, I've just been unable to silence my brain for the last 18 years. Deep breath. You won't want them thinking you forgot to breathe. Too deep of a breath. Now they think you've never done this before. You have. You've done it many times. It's never felt like sparks flying, but it's only ever been bad a number of times. I've gotten close before. I've gotten so close before. I can never come because I always end up thinking about something, and all I want to think about is nothing. I've tensed. They think I've finished. That's usually how this goes. Always. That's how this goes. Always. I don't mind it. I really like it, but the only time I stop thinking of more than my feelings is when I have control. When will I let myself feel? Okay, so that was the last one from that night. I think I'm going to read some from today, actually. Today and yesterday. I got a little journal. It's got mermaids on it, and it's super cute. It's like a decomposition book, so it's from like recycled pages and stuff. I actually got it from the college, and I just started writing in it and stuff. Yeah, these are personal. These are all very personal, so I don't even know why I'm doing this. Like, oh, here's a lax podcast of very personal feelings, but I don't know. If any of you guys are, like, missing me or something, like, here's a guidebook into my brain. Also, if you're my parents, maybe don't listen to this one. I'll just send you some ones that are appropriate for you. Retroactively, I'm warning you. You should have already stopped. Hot sun on my face. I stand in the presence of your grace. I fold blades of grass, plucking them at the root. I will never get them back. They're weaved into tiny bows, the best ones I give for you to hold. I'll worship you, the way I know how, on nature's lawn. I sing to you now. There's something to be said about the temple of your body and your head. You throw out the blade of grass, but it was once in your hand to grasp. I placed my hand on your thigh. You took my grass, and for a moment you were mine. Your every day is prayer to me, and when the sun goes down, those blades of grass will always be around. Oh, sappy. Here's one I wrote today. Trigger warning, gender dysphoria. Mermaids wrap my heart in kelp. I know they're just trying to help, but it squeezes my heart so, and under the water no one knows. I wish I could grow gills and a tail to blend in with my common males. I chop my hair down short, but it's not my choice. Find me murky waters, there they can hide their slaughter, but I choose to be here, where my gender's not clear. That one was short. I also wrote this one today. Last night I brought you up in conversation, and someone called you an angel. I laughed and said I didn't see that for you. She said it's because you float wherever you go, and in that moment thousands of angels must have gained their wings because bells were sounding in my head. She's right, you know. You're inhuman, untouchable, uncrackable, but I am oh so human. I have messy debris of dark chocolate on my fingers at this moment, and I'm not sure if angels know this. But us humans tend to want what we can't have, so I will always have my arms outstretched to catch you as you fly away, to guard some unknown human who doesn't realize just how blessed they are. Okay. And then I wrote this one today. Awesome. I have courtly love for you, not in a way, but fully, for I've pledged myself to the unobtainable goal which is yourself. It's a lustful love, yes, but more so it is one of spirit, for I feel as if I can't touch you and I wouldn't dare ask. For you, my queen, are not mine and will never be unless I shall fall from my rank and place with God, but I will always be your knight, if you will so have me. I wrote this one today also. I wrote all these in like 5 minutes. I need to stop writing of you. Not because I'm idolizing you, I couldn't even touch a speck of your beauty with my lackluster words, but because writing gives me hope that one day I may catch your eye, I've made you smile once. That is more than I ever expected. Cruel ignorance, you have cursed me with a blessing. I occupied your mind for a moment, and since then you won't leave mine. I beg of you to cut me down or set me free with your gift. You have marked me, and I am to wander the earth forever like Cain, for I know I am unworthy, but have seen the face of God. Ooh, this one's sort of a thank you for you guys. Maybe I should end on this one. No, it's not that good. I shouldn't end on it. I just wrote this one because I was just thinking about how I was going to do this podcast, and it just made me happy. I can't seem to stop writing poetry. It spills out of me like tears of realization when I hear a beautiful song, or it hits me just how lucky I am. I must have the best life in the universe, because if someone is hearing this, someone cares enough for me to dry my eyes and listen to my words. Here's another one I wrote today. Unrequited love does not sting me, but rather I want to conquer it, complete it, like a puzzle. Shall I turn my skin inside out for you? What must I do to have your attention for a moment? Unrequited love is a dangerous thing for me, for I have never turned down a challenge, not one. So please, turn me down or accept me, for I will always work when in limbo. Here's one I sort of imagine as more of like a ditty than a poem, but I guess ditties are also poems. Again, I wrote this one today. Sing for me, my darling. Call me from the hill, recite my name for all to hear. I am waiting still. Lock up my heart in a fence, feed it small glances, that is my wish. Decorate my arteries with flowers, even filled with thorns I'd be happy, my final hour. Play for me, my darling, tug on my strings like you would a harp to fly away on wings. Birds will nest from inside my chest till you open me up and they'll soar. There's some of these I started and I didn't finish, so I'm not going to do those. Okay. I stand in an Athens, the beautiful figures being sculpted for all to see. I stand in an Eden, everyone bare and more stunning than me. Yet that tree of knowledge still stands, and I get a bite of the sweet fruit, for I am here after all, an animal from the dirt and breath of life. I have a Genesis class, can you tell? Trigger warning. I hit my iced coffee. It's like 1 a.m. Okay, trigger warning, gender dysphoria. I was born with a man on the back of my head. He sleeps when I wake, but occupies my body on my off days. He ties our hair around my face and dresses our body in baggy clothes. Our pants hit the ground and our shoulders grow wide. I often forget he's there, but he will always be addressed by my name, for I am the front, and he will always be but a limb. I'm not going to do that one, even though it's okay, because I didn't finish it. Same thing with that one. And I think that's all that I wrote today. So now I'm going to go to the ones that I wrote, like, the last 2 weeks around. Let me see. Okay. This is called, I sort of wrote this one about, the culture shock that I've been having coming here from Arkansas, and how it's like a good thing, but it's also making me reflect on a lot of things. And so I underlined certain lines, and I don't know whether I want to do a different voice for it or whether I want to say them at the end, because they make their own poem. I think I'm going to say them at the end to make their own poem. So they're throughout it, but then it'll be like sort of like the second version of the poem. So this one's like a 2-parter. Okay. Nature and nurture. I am very much a product of my culture. I've become nature versus nurture. Are very much the same. In this case, their antithesis being my mind, soul, morals. I make excuses for things I shouldn't, because I've lived for 18 years in a culture where we say what we want no matter what, and you have to accept it, even if you don't agree. See? Even now I make excuses for them. For me, this poem falls into what I said before, but I lied. Because we say everything we mean, but we don't bring it up because you can't stop it. Once it starts, because our First Amendment rights is screamed in both schools and KKK rallies. And then here's the second part. I am very much a product. I've become. I shouldn't. I've lived for 18 years. We say what we want. You have to accept it. You don't agree. I make excuses for me. This poem falls. I lied. We say everything. Bring it up. Stop it. KKK rallies. Okay. Trigger warning, gender dysphoria. This one also is a two-parter, so I'll go into that after. No one has ever called me he. It is easier not to. I am not saddened by this, yet the mere thought of it, someone saying he, in association with me, drives me to tears thousands of times over the she I hear every day. And here's the second part, like the underlined words. No one has ever. It is easier. Saddened by this, thought of it, in association with me, over the she. Let's see. I wrote this one after watching this movie in French class, which is, it's about these workers in Martinique, and they are, they work in like the sugar canes, and they're originally like from an area that had a lot of slaves. So they're basically, and they weren't getting paid much at all. So it was essentially like legal slave labor. And so I sort of wrote a poem from the perspective of one of these like bosses, just to show like how messed up it was. Anyway, okay. They work. I see them work in the fields without a care. They sing, so I know they are happy in there. One took a piss. I fined them 50 cents. Payment time came. They collected 12 francs. They complain they have no money, but I pay them every day. The adults eat and the kids play in the fields, watching one animal slaughter another. C'est la vie. Okay. Which one should I read first? This is like a two-parter. Okay, I'll read this one first. So these poems sort of go together, and both trigger warnings for gender dysphoria. My skin falls around me in bunches. The flames. They consume my heart. I transform. I must restart. The pain in my body causes pain in my mind, and the worst part about it is it's all mine. I burn up like a phoenix. My interests burn up with it. A new me starts the day, convincing even myself the chars are there. And then here's the second part of that. Today I burned my body. My skin fell around me in slivers, like feathers, multicolored and charred. My skin grew back before dawn, but it was rougher. I was happy. Today my skin caught fire and fell to the ground. It is soft. I was happy. But oh, how it burns. Oh, how it hurts. I scream as my flesh sizzles, and a few rush to help. Some don't believe, but calm me. Others roll their eyes, laugh, or bury their heads in my ash, but no one could put out the fire but me, every day. Okay, here's another one. I caught eyes with someone at a party. I went up and talked to them. I didn't, but I almost did. I went to find you in the crowd. I kissed you. I didn't, but I almost did. We shared earbuds and listened to a song. I preserved the one you used. I didn't, but I almost did. I wrote this poem. I signed my name. I didn't, but I almost did. Okay. I I have 3 more. Okay. All right. 3 more. Okay, so here's the next one. I don't know what it is we have, but I like it. Either way, I could talk for hours with you every single day, and we'd never run out of things to say. I'm open with you, nothing barred, and I find that you listen even as we look up at the stars. It's early on, and for the first time I find myself saying I'd be happy either way. The conversations for hours somehow blend naturally into us kissing with a passion that has no start and end, like our speech. The breaths move in time together, and we only break for prior altercations at daybreak, and just like the sun hits the horizon, we meet, we mix, we entangle, we part, till the next day. Okay. 1 short one, and then 1 long one, and that is it. It's a short podcast this week. This one's entitled A Boxer. My wrists are like taffy and my feet are balls. My calves are like oxes and my thighs of a bull. My arms are like wings, my hair much more thick, my face of Venus, but my words of Zeus. By the way, I didn't want to explain the meaning behind too much of these other than to just give a trigger warning, because I feel like some of them are pretty obvious and I didn't want to end up like triggering someone accidentally. But I would love it if you guys would like ask me about it or try to come with your own interpretations or tell me in the comment just maybe like how, like your favorite one or how it made you feel or maybe like your theories, because I'm one of those people that believes that there's not really like, there's very few wrong meanings to poetry. As long as you have substantial like proof in the text and in the background of the speaker, then I think that like you could totally interpret poetry whatever way you want, and it can affect you in whatever way you want. So here's the last one. This is about like Arkansas, and actually this isn't the last one. Ooh, I just realized I think I have another one, but it has a lot of trigger warning. Okay, so I went to gather my things. Turns out there's actually quite a few more, so I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm just going to read. There's around like 5 more, so I'm just going to read those really quick. Latin was never alive, was it? If only a selective few know what you say, if only the rich can utter your name, can study you, are you alive? Do you have the lifeblood of the souls that can only come from a man's toil? No, I don't believe so. So we can hear you. We can study you now. We can appreciate you. But you will never come back. How can something be resurrected that was never living? I would say, okay, this one, lots of trigger warnings, FA word, DY word, just basically any Q word, basically any like homophobic slurs, trigger warnings for this. Okay. Faggot is an insult where I'm from. Dyke is an insult where I'm from. Queer is an insult where I'm from, yet I am all 3. So what does this mean for me? Does it mean I'm broken, sinful, or invisible? Can you see me if I'm standing right there? No, I don't think you can, because people keep saying to me, I hate faggots. Faggots, right? Being gay is fine as long as they don't want to sleep with me. Me? You? We don't want to sleep with you, but you'll still try to touch me when I tell you not to because I'm too pretty, right? To be a faggot, dyke, queer. Anti-gender dysphoria trigger warning. No, I'm just kidding. Positive gender stuff. Poetry. Okay. Handsome. Today I was called handsome. Not cute or beautiful. Handsome. The water down my throat hitting my Adam's apple. Handsome. My chest wrapped up in a flesh-colored binder. Handsome. My arms in a button-up shirt that I tied just above my belt. Handsome. My brown faux leather belt notched too tight against my waist. Handsome. My shoulder-length dark brown thick hair. Handsome. My face so soft and effeminate, my face which is not male passing, is handsome. Okay, second to last one. I am determined to make you laugh. I've gotten a smile or a confused quiver, the most I can't even talk. Let me start over. I'm determined to make you laugh. I've gotten a smile or a confused quiver, the most enigmatic puzzle. I can't talk. This is what happens when you record a podcast at 1:10. Okay, let me try one more time. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm determined to make you laugh. I've gotten a smile or a confused quiver, the most enigmatic, you know what, we're just sticking with it, puzzle, trapped in the softest body. Perhaps I'm reading too much into you. I like the way you read my paper, like the way you smiled and thanked me so genuinely when I complimented your art. Scratch that. You didn't read too much into that. I meant every word, but you are much more beautiful than your art, though I suppose it is an extension of you. Can I ask you how to make you laugh? Or will I perish, for it means I have made it to heaven? Okay, last one. This one is about Arkansas. It's actually a part 2 to a song that I wrote and I never put on my album because I couldn't figure out the right tune for it. But it has completely different lyrics, but it has the same name, Le Petit Solitaire, which is like the little solitary, which is a play on words because I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, which is Le Petit Roche, the little rock. So here's the little thing. My home state is one of mixed intensities. Gray areas from black and white. The rich history of plight hangs heavy in the air like the humidity that smothers us without care. I wrap my hand around my throat. I can breathe the winds as I stay afloat in the many lakes we inhabit on our backs. While a block away a car pitters and the people inside call my friends a nasty word that brings sickness to my heart but signifies so much more to those it buries in our floors while we walk atop, some hoping our steps might wear the wood, others run and get a hammer to pry up those boards and free their lives while still calling us a faggot. The pretty views of the natural state help us forget that the roads were built by slaves and the land was not made for any of us who don't fit on a particular page of their holy book. Ignorance, hypocrites, help me. I want to be the tornado that sweeps through their alley. I felt like that was a good one to end on. I hope we had a strong start and stop to this podcast. I hope that you got something out of this podcast. I hope that you related to I don't hope that you related, but I hope that a certain poem touched you in some way. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I need to come up with an outro song because I feel like just ending it's so weird. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm gonna try to get this up tonight. So yeah, thank you guys so much.